I thought this test would be really simple, but I immediately got confused by two settings. In the camera, it's called clipping control, and in the app, it's called adaptive gain control with two settings, automatic and dynamic. And I started off doing the video not really understanding the interplay between those two settings. So just hang on till the end and I'll tell you what I finally figured out about the two settings, and there's lots of examples in the video with clipping control on and off, and I do some testing with the noise reduction, strong and normal. So if that's something you're interested in, watch the video and I think that I'll answer your questions. The DJI Mic 3 just came out and I don't see anyone testing it on motorcycles, so I thought I'd take a little ride and give it a try. I got the Mic Mini and loved it. It worked great on the boom and I was satisfied with it, but then the Mic 3 came out and it had automatic gain control, the voice tones rich, bright, and I decided to sell the Mic 2 and the Mini and go with the 3 and hopefully be satisfied with it for a long time. So what I'm doing here is I've got it on rich, I've got automatic gain control turned on, the low pass filter is on, and I'm riding our Goldwing 1800. I got my face shield up. I have a tall windshield, but I do have air blowing through the windshield through a vent, and I have Baker wings under both mirrors that are directing air to the middle of my body here. So how does this sound? I'm anxious to get back and see what it's doing. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the noise canceling, and I think I have it set to normal, not strong, and I can turn it on from the transmitter, so let's try that. Okay, noise canceling is on now, or should be on, and it's to normal, not strong. How's that sounding? And I'm talking in a normal tone of voice. I'm doing 70 miles an hour with wind blowing around me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see where I have the mic a couple of inches from my mouth. So now I'm going to put it closer, right near my mouth, and see if that changes anything. I still have noise canceling on. So I'm going to turn that back off now. Okay, the noise canceling should be off. Now I'm going to lower my face shield. So obviously it's much closer to my mouth now, and I almost always ride with my shield cracked one notch, because I found with other mics that makes a big change in tone. Here's the face shield completely closed. There it's cracked one notch, which is normally how I ride if I have my face shield down. Okay, I'm going to pull off in a moment at an exit, and on the camera there is a clipping control option that I don't really see on the phone. Maybe it's a different name for adaptive gain control, I don't know. Okay, now I've got clipping control turned off on the camera and I want to see what it does. Clipping control turned off on the camera. So this should tell us fairly quickly here as I'm getting back on the highway. Okay, I'm doing about 70 miles an hour. Okay, one final test. The clipping control on the camera is turned off, and I'm just going to turn noise reduction on and off, and this time I've got noise reduction set to strong. So let's see what happens. Okay, now we should have noise reduction on and at strong. I'm doing about 63 miles an hour, talking in a normal voice with strong noise control, automatic gain, low pass filter, rich voice. Now I'm going to turn noise reduction back off. Okay, we're going to do one more test. I got back and listened to my audio, and the clipping control in the camera has a huge impact, and I don't understand what's going on. You can connect the transmitter to the app on your phone and look at all the settings, and there's more settings there than there are on the camera. And of course it has adaptive gain control. The thing is automatic and dynamic, and I'm using automatic, but there's nothing in there about clipping control. And then when you look at the camera, there's clipping control, but nothing about automatic gain. So not all the settings are represented in the camera. Clipping control is not in the app, so I thought it was just a bug or a goof by DJI. But as you just heard, it makes a big difference in the quality of the audio. So I have to come out and try it one more time. I've got the clipping control on, low pass filter on, adaptive control set to automatic. Right now I have noise reduction off. I'm going to try it on in just a moment and it will be set to strong. I've done about 60 miles an hour right now and I am guessing that it sounds really good because when I turned clipping control off in the camera, as you heard, it really sounded bad, horrible. I've had a bunch of GoPros and I love and hate GoPros. I love the colors out of the GoPro. It had some nice features, but it was like Forrest Gump and a box of chocolates. You never knew what you were going to get. What other electronic device are you satisfied with if every 10th time you turn it on, it may not turn on and you got to pull the battery? Or it may say it's recording and it's not. Or it may record video and not record audio. It was just so frustrating. But the one thing that they did perfect every time through the media mod was you could connect a lavalier mic to the media mod and the audio just worked. If the camera was working and recording, the audio just worked every time. It didn't matter if you talk loud or talk low or whatever. You didn't have to change any settings. It didn't clip. It sounded great. And that's the reason I held on to the GoPro for so long. I went to the Action 1. I used it for a while before I started talking while I'm riding. I tried the Action 3 and the audio, they did not have it right. No matter what I tried, the audio clipped. I think I tried the Action 4. It had the focus issues. It may have still had the audio trouble. I can't remember. I think it probably still had the audio problem. It would clip. It just could not beat the GoPro. Could not even match the GoPro. But now with the Action Pro 5 and the new microphones from DJI, I think they've nailed it. I used the Mini on a long 7,000 mile trip earlier in the spring. The thing worked perfect all the time. Now the DJI Mic 3, it's got some added features that I really like over the Mini, and I think it's going to be great. So I'm going to turn around in just a moment and head back at high speed, but I think my settings are going to be rich voice tone, low pass filter on, and the camera clipping control on. I'm going to play with noise reduction, but I really don't think I'm going to mess with that because I'm pretty sure I don't want to use strong. And normal does some reduction, but it's kind of subtle, and I don't know that I want to leave it on all the time, and I don't want to have to remember to turn it on and off in times that I don't need it. And there's times that I like hearing the background noise if I'm in the woods or somewhere with ambient sound. Quite often that adds to the video, and I don't want to turn on noise reduction and just leave it on all the time and forget about it. So I'm going to turn around here and we'll head back home at high speed and try the noise reduction strong just to see what we got. Okay, I'm just going to ride a back road home instead of following the school bus back at 35 miles an hour. Here's noise reduction normal. Here's noise reduction strong. Noise reduction strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm doing about 50 to 55 miles an hour. Here's about 55 miles an hour. Noise reduction strong. Now I'm going to go back to noise reduction normal. Okay, that should be noise reduction normal. Okay, noise reduction is off. So now I just want to talk in a real loud voice and talk in a normal voice and talk maybe in a low voice. I'm doing about 60 miles an hour. And I just want to talk in a loud range of voices and see what it sounds like. You can see by the wind on my shirt that there's quite a bit of air flowing over me and over the mic. I think I'm going to like the Mic 3. So let's rush home, get this video on the iPad, and check it out and see what the final settings will be when using this with the Action Pro 5, either on a motorcycle or just walking around talking about something. I think I've got the settings that I want, and I think it's going to work great. I've been thoroughly confused by the adaptive gain control setting in the app versus the clipping control setting in the Action Pro 5 in the wireless mic setting. I think I've figured it out. So the clipping control in the camera setting is the same as adaptive gain control on and set to automatic. So if I turn it on in the camera and then I go look in the app, it's on. If I turn it off in the camera and go look in the app, it's still on. In the app, if I turn it on in the app and go to the camera, it will turn it on. If I turn it off in the app and go to the camera, it will still be on. So I don't understand. I thought the setting was in the transmitter, and then when you turned on the camera or looked at it in the app, the settings would reflect that. So the bottom line, if you're using an Action Pro 5, I don't know about the 4, and you're using the DJI Mic 3, turn on clipping control in the camera and ignore what it says in the app. So hopefully this helped you some and answered some questions. If you have any other comments, leave them down below, and thank you for watching.